Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with the next Follow a Sketch February through Scrapping Reflections and State Goddess. And here is our next sketch. Lots of lovely circles, which are normally not my thing, but that's okay. I've been trying to be more flexible and trying new things. So it looks like there's journaling space and 3 or 4 layers and lots of circles. And so I did some pre-work beforehand because I knew the cutting of the circles and cutting pictures in circle shape would be time consuming, so I thought I'd go ahead and get that done. And I'm actually have one more circle than in the sketch. So I am not 100% sure where it's going to go on the layout, but I do have all of my pictures. I already cut them. I cut on my Cricut, I cut my frames or mats, and I have already attached everything and my title, which that came out of the Cricut as well. And I have popped it up on foam when we get to that. And the journaling, I will probably use these Tim Holtz Ideology. This is the small talk, and I've used quite a few, but I still have quite a few I can use. There are 2 strips here on the top and bottom of that center part. And I thought that I would use a couple more of these Miss Grossman's. If you watched my layout for the 4th, I used some of these, but these have the dots on them, and I thought we would go with that theme. And then what I matted and cut all of these out on is this Paper Studios Color Kaleidoscope. This is my 2nd paper pad of this collection. I love how bright and vibrant these pages are. So I'm gonna pull the 3 layers from here and build this layout. So I have my papers, I have some stickers and embellishments, and I do have a folder full of just family type embellishments and stickers that I may pull from depending on what I need. And I have my little sketch right here, and I can't see a name on here anywhere, so I'm not sure. If I find out who this sketch is by, I will put that in the comments below. All right, so I have my papers and my pictures, and let's see how this goes. All right, so the very first thing I did was decide which 3 papers I wanted for my layers. I wanted a solid in the back, and I wanted this circle paper for the middle section because, well, there's circles everywhere. I felt like that would be a good fit for that middle section. Plus, it's a lighter color. And then I really wanted this square bit for the outside border because it almost looks like a frame. I love this paper, so I ended up gutting it because even though I have a couple sheets of it, it's my favorite. So it's just so bright. I love this pack. I finished off an entire book and bought a 2nd one, and luckily it was on clearance, so I got it for like $5 at Hobby Lobby. And it just had such bright colors that I wanted another one. I was still working on my Disney book back in June and July, and these colors really just said Disney to me. So I got all that done, and now I'm going to gut, like I said, that piece right there. It's just so shiny and pretty. So I end up cutting down, originally I cut that circle paper about 10.5 inches squared, but decided I wanted it to be about 10 inches squared because I wanted a full, close to an inch border around the outside. So I tacked all that down off camera because you didn't need to see all that. You all know how to adhese your papers together. And now I'm just going to fiddle around with placement. There are 2 pictures. One of them is that one of the 3 people and the baby with the yellow circle that has the bottom is flat, because the way the picture was, if I had cut a full circle, it would have cut people out. It wouldn't have, it would have cut part of the baby's head out, which I obviously didn't want. And the bottom, not the very bottom, but the other yellow paper has my daughter when she was 5, and her favorite cat is on the bottom, and I really wanted him in the picture, so it is cut off at the bottom because of the way the picture would have felt. So I wanted to make sure those papers were covered. So I did a pretty good job. There's a small part that is showing on the finished layout that I may go back and try and cover. And had I noticed, because everything's so shiny, had I noticed, I may have tried to cover that with my little word phrase that I pop on here later, but it's all good. It is pretty hard to see. I mean, you have to be looking for it. So after I get all of them on there, and I'm really happy with the way they are, remember that there are those 2 stripes, and so I take everything off. And what I will do a lot of times is I will take a picture of what it looks like, and then that way I can go back and look at my picture and use that as my guide. So I didn't do that. I just figured I would find a way to put them back on here in a way that I liked them. So I laid that little stripe of Miss Grossman's polka dotted sticker down, and then I flip my page and do it again on the other side. And some of this turns out a little wonky, and I don't know if it's wonky because I put that strip on cockeyed, but based on what I'm looking at while I'm doing this voiceover, it does not look like it's that. So I probably just put the word phrases down a little off, but whatever. I, like Scrappy Adam, have decided to embrace the wonk and know that it'll be fine. So these are pictures from a family get-together for the 4th of July in 2006. My daughter was, actually, I think she was 4.5. No, she was 5. And we had gotten together, and my husband's cousin, had just had a baby. And so we were all taking turns holding the baby. So, that is what all these pictures are from, and I had all these printed out and had not done anything with them. So I decided that this was the perfect layout because I could cut all these pictures into circles because most of them were pretty small. So taken from a distance so they could be trimmed down. So there is that picture of my daughter with the cat, and he's just right there at the very bottom. And the first time I lay a picture down on top of it, I covered the cat, and I thought, oh my gosh. The whole point was to have poor old Max in this picture because, like I said, it was her favorite. So I put foam on the back of my title, and if you can see that, it is a crazy mess if you were just looking at that side of it. And it's because I put 2 big pieces, and then I had a bunch of little pieces that I thought it was the perfect time to get used up. So I just put those down so it would not dip anywhere and would be mostly covered, and I wasn't wasting all the little bits and pieces that I have in a little cup on my desk. You can see that little lime green cup over to the right side. It's where I put my little pieces of trash from the double-sided tape. I have a little set that I got at the dollar store. I have another little tray just like that, and it is where I put my little bits of foam. It's the foam that's sticky on one side, the foam from Walmart. So I pull out my Tim Holtz and I start picking phrases that I feel are fitting for this get-together or just for family in general. And I lay them down, and I'm going to tape them because sometimes these stick really good and sometimes they don't. I just decide that I'm going to go ahead and tape them with my double-sided tape. And they just say, love with all your heart, look on the bright side, you can never have too much happy, focus on what's important, travel the world over to find the beautiful, everything has beauty and so much, so the adventure begins. And I put that one down by the baby because obviously having a baby is definitely an adventure. So I get all those down, and then I go back and I tack them down off camera. And now I'm trying to decide what I want to do to finish this off. I don't really feel like adding more circles. Overall, I want to add some color, but it needs to stay in this primary kind of color, not, I don't want to go too far off of the colors that are in this because there's already so much color on the layout. So I wanted to bring in some stickers. If they were circles, that was fine, but I only found one that was a circle that I felt was appropriate, and the color wasn't too far off from what I was already using, so I pulled that out from one of the sticker sheets that I have had for a long time, and I couldn't tell you. Oh, it is me and my big ideas. So go me. I actually have the brand on the back of that sticker sheet. So I put the star down first, and that came from, I think, a Stickopotamus sticker sheet. I would assume that it is based on the sheet I'm looking at. And then this circle that says center of attention is the one from the Me and My Big Ideas. And I put that down right next to the baby and my daughter because they are definitely the center of attention at this point. So I get those down there, and I decide I want to add something else to the end of each of these word phrases. So I have these patriotic red, white, and blue stars, and the colors match what I'm already working with, and it is a 4th of July get-together, so it fit perfectly. So I just alternated where, not necessarily the location, but the color, and went down, and then I had one extra one that I made white. And then I'll add one of each of those underneath to the left of the word family right there, just to bring an extra little cluster of those stars over. I thought about doing a third cluster somewhere, but really there is nowhere else for anything else to fit because this page is loaded with pictures and tons and tons of color. So I get this marker, or it's a pen, and I was going to order some Muji pens on Amazon, which is what State Goddess uses and speaks highly of. And so I ordered them, but these ended up being off-brand from China or something. So I just wrote the year in black underneath that bottom picture. So I'm going to show you the sketch and some up-close pictures, and that is it. So I hope you all enjoyed this short layout put together, and I hope you all will try this. Working with circles is scary, but it is absolutely awesome to look at, and it's so different. So I hope you all have a great day. I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping.